Hello again, everybody, live from Lightning Strikes Bowl in Fort Myers, Florida. We'd like to welcome all of you to today's Super Senior three-gamer. We got a lot of lifers bowling today. We've got proprietors bowling, and we've got lots of friends, lots of people that have moved here from the Northeast, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island. The people that don't like the cold are here today. I'm Larry Lichstein. I will be your host. We have a good field today. We have some people that have won some titles today. We have a USBC Eagle winner bowling today. I'll give you the format. The bowlers are going to bowl 3 games. We're going to cut to the top 25% of the field. They will bowl game 4. It's a position round game. They get 30 bonus pins if they win the game. And today we will crown this month's champion. Let me show you our schedule of what's happening in here. That's the Globe Bowl, but check this out. This is the Senior 4-gamer. Next week, for the first time, Paradise Vintage Market will be sponsoring that event next Saturday here at Lightning Strikes. That's bowlers over the age of 50. Now, we do have a PBA Pro-Am coming here on April 10th. This is our ball package. You get a ball, a PBA entry into the Pro-Am, and tickets for 3 days for $200. This is today's Senior 3-gamer. And of course, the big event, the scratch event, being held here 3 weeks from today, $2,500 guaranteed for first place. 3 weeks from today, we expect a big field, over 100 bowlers. And March 27th, $5,000 guaranteed for that scratch event. The PBA Non-Champions event being held here March 5th, 6th, and 7th. 80 bowlers over the age of 50, 80 bowlers under the age of 50 eligible for that event. That is a PBA regional event sponsored by iRoof. Paul and Adam Zulke sponsoring that event. Again, great tournaments coming up here, Lightning Strikes. And I had a picture up earlier today. I want to show you folks this picture. I'm sure you'll like it when you see it. Today is February 6th, and 50 years ago today culminated the most infamous, if you will, PBA tournament in bowling history. It was held at Saratoga Lanes in San Jose, California. It was on ABC Sports with Billy Whaley and Chris Schenkel. In the old format, the PBA had 16 finalists, and in this event, the only time it's ever happened in bowling history, all the finalists were left-handed. We couldn't believe it when it happened. I qualified second for the telecast behind the great Dave. Dear friend, and it was my only title match that I won. I squeezed off 5 titles. I was 1-5 in PBA title events. 2 weeks from now is the 50th anniversary of John Petraglia beating me in Winston-Salem. It was my last title match and my last PBA telecast. It was John's first TV win. He went on later that winter to win the last 3 tournaments in a row on television. Won 4 that winter of 1971, which then resulted into the PBA lane maintenance program. At the end of that winter, Eddie Elias had figured out that 17% of the bowlers who were left-handed won 49% of the money. So that wasn't too good for statistics. So the PBA started its lane maintenance program. To beat him, it's in black and white on YouTube. I've got a lot of hair and he's young. And you saw the results of what 50 years do to you if you're in the bowling industry. There's the So I'll show you the 17 through 20 shot right here, 21 through 24, 25 to 28, 29 to 32, 33 to 36, and 37 to 40. We might use the split screen, which will show you bowlers here at the bottom of the screen, 17 through 24, and a split 25 to 40. Again, thank you all for joining us. It's going to be a nice day for our seniors here. A lot of money at stake, brackets, Nassaus, and lots of fun. We do have some very prominent bowlers bowling today, highlighted by Halthizer, formerly out of Reading, Pennsylvania. Al now living in Punta Gorda. Al won the 1992 Team All Events Eagle with a team out of Reading, Pennsylvania, and won the Bowler's Journal double twice with Pat Healy in 1994 and 1996. So it's a man that's won basically 3 majors. He'll be bowling today. Craig Vogel, who has won this event earlier, a proprietor from the Rome, Utica area. Jeff Pinnell, who won last month's event, will be bowling today. Bowled very well to win. And we have many people. Mike Cork, who has won this event. Ray Sansavois, who's been bowling fantastic in recent months out of Woonsocket, Rhode Island. So we've got another group today that wants to go home a champion. And hopefully one of them will repeat. It's going to be 1-7, folks. I'll be right back with you. Okay, we're back getting ready for today's action. Keep in mind, this is a house shot. It's very high scoring, very equal on both sides. The lefties and righties can definitely get to the pocket. Obviously, the lower rev rates for most of the seniors. You might see a lot of quarter pins, a lot of 10 pins, rip 7-10s, a lot of weak 7s where the ball hits the pocket. The 5 goes in front of it. The head pin goes in front of the 5 or behind it. And obviously, corner pins will be left today. If I was going to predict the score for 3 games, I'd say somebody's going to shoot 700, no doubt about it. The lanes are high scoring. These people can flat play. If I was going to make a prediction right now, based on what I see here weekly and the people bowling here weekly, Ray Sansavois out of Woonsocket, Rhode Island, definitely a factor. But I'm going to predict today Al Holtheiser out of Reading. I'm going to put the camera on him a lot. He is great. He shot 770 to win our senior eliminator to get into the PBA senior event here. Dave Stouffer now making some announcements. Dave Stouffer is running a sweeper here
20 minutes, sign up
for a new ball.
I got some flyers out there on the tables for you guys. Audi of Fort Myers is sponsoring our PBA 50 Pro-Am event here on April 10th. There's 2 squads, 2 p.m. and 4:30. He's guaranteed us a $5,000 prize fund. So if anybody's interested in bowling the Pro-Am, you will have a prize fund to be bowling for. Also, it will be 9-pin no tap as well. If you do plan on bowling the Pro-Am with the pros, the PBA has requested us that anybody bowling with the professional bowlers, you will be asked to wear a mask. It's their one prerequisite for us to have our event here, and we will respect their wishes. So other than that, we'll have a section roped off if you do not want to wear a mask at all times. We have a couple of entries for you. A Pro-Am entry, $60. It includes the Pro-Am event itself and a 3-day pass while the pros are here. We also have a Pro-Am with a ball entry and then a buy the ball option. Also, I'm going to stick around for a little while to run a raffle. They're $10 a ticket. If I get 20 tickets sold, you get a choice of either the WebMB or the Black Widow 2.0. Our main event is sponsored by Hammer, so Tyler Armour up in Michigan, he's worked with us at sponsoring the main event. So that's why we have these 2 balls to choose from. So thanks again, Tyler. So if you guys have any questions, come up and see me. And if anybody else is here for the Super Senior Tournament, go see me and get signed up.
And that's David Stolfer doing a great job here at Lightning Strikes, running our raffles. We had 10 go out the other day, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, for the WebMB or the Black Widow 2.0. Brunswick helping us with the Senior Tour event April 9th through the 13th, as well as Audi of Fort Myers. We have a Pro-Am on April 10th, $5,000 guaranteed prize fund by Audi of Fort Myers. You can enter the Pro-Am for $60. You get 3 days of tickets, and you'll be bowling for the $5,000 share of that prize money. Also, if you come up with $200, you get a bowling ball and a WebMD or a Black Widow, a Pro-Am entry, and 3 days of tickets. It's a great deal either way, $60 just to come in and bowl the Pro-Am, or a new ball for 140 drilled. It's an unbelievable deal. I'd come in and I'd think about it, talk to our guys in our pro shop, and they will help you. Got a lot of people on the live stream today already. Jimmy Argy, Gary Smith, Duncan Katanic, Chuck Burge, and the list is growing. Shirley Cirillo, Mike Jacobson, Stephen Latalis, Carissa Robson, Leon Bailey. Welcome aboard, everybody. Bill Plunkett, thank you again. I'm reading the names. Many of our regulars on week after week. Thank you for being with us today. And if you live in the Northeast, I'm sorry for all the snow you've had. But I guess they're getting barraged up there. Hello. I guess they're getting lots of snowblower use. That's what my son's telling me, Michael. Anyways, we're ready to go with another great tournament here at Lightning Strikes. A little quiet in here after last weekend. Last weekend was remarkable. 138 bowlers for the Heinz 57, 152 for the 9-pin no-tap Sunday. Saturday and Sunday, 290 bowlers bowling it here on Saturday and Sunday. Today a little quieter, as you can see by the concourse. Not as many people as last weekend, but each weekend we try and give all the bowlers a chance here. Different age groups, men, ladies, of course, handicap players, scratch players. This is a bowler's house. No electronic games and no stuffed toys in here, folks. It's all about bowling. That's the way we do it, and we love it. Bowlers checking in at the bracket table there. And, of course, Dave Stolfer here running that raffle is really great. For a $10 bill, you could win either one of those balls, a $60 entry into the Pro-Am, and 3 days of tickets, all for $200. An unbelievable price with a $5,000 guaranteed prize fund by Audi of Fort Myers. If 100 bowlers bowl, they're bowling for $5,000 in prize money. It's an unbelievable offer here at Lightning Strikes. That's big bucks. So we are hoping for a large turnout. Melanie Ortega with those booties on. Those are definitely colorful. No snow on Martha's Vineyard. Jimmy Argy, I love Martha's Vineyard. I want to go. I want to see it. I've looked at it from across the water, but I was never there. Maybe someday, huh, Jimmy? You never know. Leon Balion from the United Kingdom. Chuck Burge, Duncan Katanic from Scotland. Welcome aboard. Thank you all again so much for joining us here in Southwest Florida. And we will get the competition in about 10 minutes. Will be practice. And again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Super Senior 60 and over. They will be bowling 3 games. Game 4 is a position round game. We'll be using tournamentbowl.com today. And we're getting ready here to start the show shortly. Still some people checking in at the check-in counter. Mary Berner there doing the work. Does a great job as usual. Jeff Pinnell going to fire for a $10 ticket, it looks like. You see Dennis Davis right there. Maybe I can get Dennis Davis in here. You guys will be fascinated when you hear this, so stay with me. I got a guest sitting down with me now, folks. I think you'll all really be fascinated. Sit a little closer to me, my brother Dennis. Okay. This is Dennis Davis, ladies and gentlemen. And Dennis Davis and his brother John Davis founded the Kegel Company. And it's an honor to have you with us today.
Thank you.
And Dennis, for all of you that bowl, tell the people what you did with the lane machines at Kegel so they'll know.
What we did with the lane machines? Whoa, we invented the sanction technology.
You invented the sanction technology.
No, the technology actually started out oiling them by hand.
Yep.
We would take the front roller.
Yep.
Of an 8230, the half.
Yep.
And we would cover it with terry cloth.
Yep.
And Scotch-Brite cloth, and we would oil the lanes by hand, And John Davis would take a 10 milliliter vial of oil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he would measure the amount of oil that we had to put on by hand. Wow. Big difference than a spray gun.
Wow.
Okay.
So you were there from day one.
Oh yeah.
And did you do all the programming for these machines? Did you build all the programming?
The programming for the physical part of the machine itself was built by John.
Yeah.
And my brother Mark.
Yeah.
Okay. I built an interface to make it easier for the customer.
You built the interface for the customer?
I built the Windows interface for the customer.
So in other words, when they program it in, that's you?
When they program it in on a Windows computer and press send, that's me.
That's what you did?
Yeah, that's what I did.
So how many people in the world do you think are using the technology that you came up with? How many lane machines? 15, 20,000?
I couldn't fathom the guess.
10,000.
We're talking about all the way back to the early 90s.
So it's an enormous amount of lane machines worldwide.
Oh yeah.
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 Oh yeah. Unbelievable. A lot of people don't know. Of course, the Kegel Company was founded in Sebring, and now it's up in Lake Wales. But you were there from day one and saw the dream come true.
Yes.
What a wonderful success story. Unbelievable story, considering the contribution to the sport of bowling.
I used to run a tournament called the Option 1.
Yeah.
Okay. And you probably have bowled in it.
I might have when I lived there.
But it was a scratch singles tournament that we held every month.
Yeah.
And we ran maybe like 100 of them.
Yeah.
And we had players in our tournament that have gone on to win national titles.
Yeah, that's something.
Ricky Ward. Jason Couch.
Yeah, I think Chris Barnes. Didn't Chris Barnes bowl one of them?
I don't know.
I thought Barnes bowled. He bowled. Yeah. Randy Peterson bowled. Oh, you had some horses. Yeah. You had some great bowlers.
Oh, yeah. We had some great. It was a great time.
I remember working with you there, in Sebring, and of course, when Lake Wales was built, that became the most fascinating bowling facility in the world, in my opinion, because of the schooling, the teaching, and the commitment to Weber and the bowlers from around the world then coming there to bowl in a state-of-the-art facility, which is still supporting the best bowlers that ever lived. They still go there.
I practice 5 days a week at the training center and
Practice 5 days a week
in Lake Wales.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have expert instruction from Del Warren,
And Randy
Stoughton,
and Ruben. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And without even asking, they'll come up.
I'm sure.
They'll come up and say, "Hey, I can't stand to see you suffer." You know? and so they give me a couple of pointers.
I'm so honored that you're here. You're still an avid bowler, so you've been practicing a lot. You want to win one of these things.
Well,
I believe it. I
figure-
believe you're here to win,
Well, I still don't have any handicap yet.
but you're getting it.
Oh, after today, I've got some.
So the next time we bowl in March, if you don't win today, you might be a factor with a few added sticks.
Yeah, I'm thinking about next weekend.
Yeah, you had a 50 and over. Sure, you're eligible for that with
I'm
handicap
eligible
too.
for that, you know.
Anyways, I wanted everybody to meet you. Of course, I was so honored to go into the Hall of Fame with your brother, and that's one of the highlights of my career was to go into the Hall of Fame with John Davis that night, May 1st of 2019, which incidentally is the last Hall of Fame induction, and there's not one this year either.
Right.
So by the time the next one actually happens in 2022, it will have been 3 years between Hall of Fame inductions.
Wow.
Yeah, they canceled it last year and this year because of COVID. So we're still the reigning group. There's been people that have been voted in, but they haven't been inducted yet at the ceremony, if you will.
Yeah.
Interesting little statistic, which has never happened before. I don't believe that's ever happened. Bobby Learn and Patrick Allen and Marianne DeRupo are still waiting. And then this year's group of Mark Williams and the girl from Coldwater, Michigan, Sandra Jo Shirey, are going to wait till next year as well. And Bobby and Patrick, 2 years with Marianne, are going to wait 2 years to get inducted.
Well, the virus has hurt the bowling industry big time.
Horrible, horrible.
But walking in here, you kind of don't see that.
No, you don't see it here.
Yeah.
We're one of the few houses that somehow actually grew during the pandemic. The odds of that are 1 in 1,000. But our owner's very, progressive for bowlers. He's a bowler. He bowls Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturdays here. He'll be eligible next weekend in the 50s, not eligible for the 60s. But he bowled Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, and next week Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday. So he wants to bowl, and he wanted to own a bowling center.
Well, he's got one.
And we got a brand new flex machine in here that's a year old. It's changed our patterns from Kegel, of course.
I saw it going across there.
Yeah.
You guys don't tell us what we're bowling on today, though, do you?
It's a house shot.
I figured it
It's
was.
fairly easy too. I mean, you still leave corners here because it's an older installation, which is good. You got to hit them pretty solid.
Yeah.
The off hits are a little touchy, and transition. Although I don't think there'll be a lot today because there are not too many high rev rates. But usually when there's a lot of high rev rates, about a game and a half in, 2 games in, you start to got to make 4 and 2s and 5 and 1s and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll see that today. I think most of the lanes will be pretty consistent across the house with just 3 games and 4 bowlers a pair. But anyways, I want to thank you for what you've done for the bowling industry. I wish you luck today.
Hey,
and next week, June, he's eligible now to get some wood.
Oh, yeah. Unless I shoot 820 today.
Unless you shoot 8, well, you never know. You never know. Thank you, Dennis.
We'll see.
All right, Dennis Davis from Kegel, one of the original founding brothers of the Kegel Company, John Davis, who's since passed on about 9 years ago. Dennis and his younger brother, Mark, built the Kegel Company from one lane machine, to the most phenomenal, world-renowned service company of lane maintenance in the history of our sport. They beat Brunswick, they beat AMF, they beat them all. They climbed the ladder, went from an obscure, no-name, nothing, to #1 in the world. And we see it here in Florida every day with the kids going there for training and coaching. Remarkable Evan Baranecki, who graduated Weber, trained at the Kegel Training Center for 4 years. And each year it's another group of kids getting signed on to the college contracts there and the college invites there, if you will. Just a great, great company. And we're very honored to have Dennis here today with all of us. And Dave Stouffer there, still selling those tickets. There he is with Ricky Ward. Check him out, the Bulldog. The Bulldog hustling tickets over there with David. And Mary's getting ready now to start her tournament, our great tournament director. So let's watch Mary as she gets ready to roll out there. Here she is.
I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedules, because I know my schedule's so busy, so I'm sure yours is too, to come out and compete with us. It's thrilling to know that every single time I run one of these tournaments, I have somebody that's never bowled or at this before. So I am very
Dean Abaddon, John Jones, welcome aboard. Jackie Yanez, hello Jackie.
just to let you know that next
Elaine
Saturday,
Medugno,
the
Tom
13th,
Koch,
senior four-gamer,
Rhonda
50
Milliken,
gamer.
Robert Hilton,
So if you want to bowl, that's
Deborah
a
Anderson, John
from
Soto,
And,
Joe Adam,
also on Sunday,
Roger
for,
Kilgore,
Valentine's Day
welcome
show,
aboard
it's
everybody.
on April
Ken
Red
Tiufa,
Scratch,
Nacero or Nacero,
on the
welcome
global
aboard. Joe
side.
Smith,
For those of you who-
Frankie Numbers, I like that name.
It's nice
That's
to see,
cool.
except it's on double.
Shirley Carrillo, welcome aboard everybody.
As male, female, male, female,
Thank you for
female.
joining us here at Lightning Strikes for
All
the
those high average bowlers that bowl
60 and over Super Senior.
See?
Leanne Kreitz, hello Leanne. Mike McKay, hello.
For those of you who are unfamiliar with our average situation, we are taking.
And for those of you that
standard composite
just came,
to our side pots, our
Dave
black
Davis.
inside
So great day for me in my life.
after the third game,
50th anniversary.
give us a few minutes to print
I'm a
out
date
all the,
nut,
the prize money
and,
stuff we will deliver to the front desk and
It's
carry.
sometimes I get emotional knowing it was the day that a dream came
If you are
true.
in the top,
After 4 losses before that, and they were gut-wrenching, I had a chance to win every one of them. I made bad shots late in the game. The nerves got me, but in this case here,
you all are
I
going to be bowling.
got lucky. He got tapped 4 times. Left 4 7-pins. In the match I bowled against me, threw 7 strikes and 4 7-pins for 228. Hit the pocket every ball. He never missed a pocket.
Skip a
4 7-pins.
You're on the very edge
Any one
of
of them go down, I don't win. So I really got a break.
22.
And we talked about that
Okay.
yesterday also.
Game 4 will be a cashier's position.
It's funny how his memory
for the
came
top
back.
1 and 5 bowlers. We have
You know,
50 bowlers.
he remembered. He says, I left a lot of 7s. I said, yes, you did. 4 of them in the wrong places.
For spreading the word.
But
So we are going to cut to the top 10
we're
bowlers.
back with
Those
all of
10
you
bowlers
today
are gonna bowl head-to-head.
for another great tournament. And there's our great tournament director, Mary Berner.
If there's a tie,
And Mary
before going into that
just
round,
does such an unbelievable job here with everybody. Hold on, I got a phone ringing. I got to disconnect it. Mary does such a great job here with
if there's a tie
our
after
bowlers.
that,
She's
we're
so
gonna do 9th and 10th game.
well
Free
loved
roll-off for those 2 bowlers to determine who is
and
going
just as
forward in
devoted
the cashier's
to
position.
bringing tournaments into Fort Myers here at Lightning Strikes. She's gifted. And she calls everybody. She calls bowlers from around the state, sends them emails. She's an amazing lady.
On their pair for 30 bonus pins. If you are the higher bowler, you get the 30 bonus pins. If you tie, you get 15 apiece. All right, and your pins carry forward from the 3 games that you previously bowled, and then that's how we will determine payout for the first through 10. Does anybody have any questions? All right. So all you gotta do is press.
It's going to be practice time now. They're going to come up. They're going to start. And we have a split screen here. The bottom of the screen is where the competition is going to start.
If you don't know, they are having services next weekend, or next Friday night, 6 to 8 out in Lehigh. I'm sorry, I can't remember the address. It's right out there by Walmart. As you all know, he did pass away this week. If you want to come Say your last words, Mike. It'll be next Friday night. Thank you.
For those of you who don't know what he's talking about, Mr. Bob Peters was the association president and the state too, and he passed away. So that's what he's referring to. So anyway, to get on to practice,
Shirley Everly on,
check marks on both of
Matt
those
Perks,
scoring
Mike
panels and
Cheatham,
Good luck, good bowling.
Chris Best, Chuck Burge,
And then, yeah, I can be out there with you.
Ron Luchart. I think Dave still bowls. Chuck, I think he's up in the Detroit area now, working for the Detroit Bowling Association, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we've got a nice group again ready to roll here at Lightning. Let's see, we got the split screen on for all of you here. Watch here. We can watch everybody warming up. And we only have the bottom lanes here on the other split, but we can use that for you too. Might be some local bowlers bowling on the other lanes, but 19 through 24. I'll probably just pull up 19 through 24 and use this for a while, just to see who's doing what here at Lightning. I'm going to have you folks take a real good look at Al Holtheiser. You want to see somebody that's still got it. Watch this fellow on lane 41, formerly out of Reading, now living in Punta Gorda. And he is still a great bowler. He's got a great touch. Look at that beautiful stroke. And he will be a factor today. He's the man I'm picking to win. He just got the Litchi kiss. The poor man, he got the Litchi kiss. Poor Al came in here to live as a comfortable senior and got the kiss from Litchi. So let's see what happens here. I want you to watch Al throw it again. Watch the footwork. He gets ahead of the ball, waits on it. Billy Montevane on. Welcome aboard, Billy. Freddie Ice Engels. Watch him run ahead of it and catch it. Right there. Just a beautiful touch. Al Holtheiser, formerly out of Reading, Pennsylvania. Craig Vogel, who's won this event, owns a bowling center in the great I-90 bowling region of New York State, between Syracuse and Albany, in the Rome, Utica area, where Craig has his center. He also lives in Punta Gorda. Bob Lockhart right there on lane 38 out of Sacramento. So you got a gentleman throwing the ball from the Syracuse or Rome, Utica area, and a bowler next to him from 3,000 miles away in Sacramento. Just like that. 3,000 miles apart, and bowling brought them together here in Southwest Florida at Lightning Strikes. I find it fascinating when I ask everybody where they're from, and then I hear the stories of where they bowled, and then I tell them I know I was there. In a lot of cases, Al and Bob, I was in their home houses. I was at Country Club Bowl in Sacramento, and I was at Burke Lanes in Reading. So they'll tell me, and I'll say, oh, I was there in 75, I was there in 82, and they look at me like, where was this guy everywhere? Well, for about 30 years it seems like I was. You know, it's just a fun thing for me to remember. It was something so great in my life that the memories are what carry me, actually. And I'm glad I have a good memory. I can tell you that. What an honor and privilege it was to travel with the PBA to all these areas of the country, and now many of them came here to the sun and the great weather of Florida. Henry Cockfield out of the Miami area right there still throws it pretty good. He's got a good rev rate. he could be a factor today. He throws it well. He's very accurate. Jeff Pennell won our last event. Was very emotional that day when I got him in the booth. Had some heart issues. He was telling me he had health issues, and he loves to bowl. That bowling is his life and his dream. And he won that day a month ago, and he was emotional. You know, his eyes got watery when he was talking about his win. And this gentleman with the hat here told me he bowled in the Peoria area of Illinois. That's where he's from. And he said, I remember you at Landmark Lanes in Peoria, and came up to me and told me he saw me there 35 years ago in Peoria. So when I hear it, it's really a thrill for me. A lot of these people are retired now naturally and live here in Southwest Florida. And my cork right there from Erie was there today. Bob Learn shot 300 in the Erie County Convention Center. And Ray Sansavoy right there from Woonsocket, Rhode Island, bowled at Walnut Hill Lanes. So all these bowlers, most of them transplants from different parts of the country, and have told me where they're from. And bowling has brought us together. That's the most wonderful thing of all, is that bowling brought us together. Butch Smith on, Hanky Hayes, Sarah Lowe, Mike White, Scott Fairweather, welcome aboard, James Alshire, and Billy Montevena, our sales rep from Classic Products with warehouses in Indiana and Florida and Texas and Washington. Knowing Classic Products, they might even have one on the moon for future usage. And Billy Montevena will be there. Hanky Hayes remembers me at Town Square in Riverside. Yes, I was there. I love Riverside. Had a wonderful time there in my life. It was hot when we were there. Usually in July, it was right at 100. Yes, I've been around a little bit. And now let's watch Dennis Davis. And if you have a lane machine in your bowling center and it was made by Kegel, this man here has something to do with its operation of every lane machine in the world, not just Florida. If it says Kegel on it, that's Dennis Davis, his late brother John, and his brother Mark, who built the Kegel Company. What an honor it is to have him bowling with us. Avid bowler in his life from St. Joe, Missouri. Ellen Tybee. Ellen loves to bowl with Roland. And Roland's wife right there. Joyce Reynolds bowling down there. Terry Zell with her husband Marlon. A lot of seniors. These people love bowling. It is in their life. Yes, Richard Rump, and they're one of my boyhood idols. Amazing feeling to beat somebody you idolize for a title. And we sat yesterday in his living room and talked about it and our careers. Keep in mind, I drilled every ball he threw from 74 to 96 on the PBA Tour. and he won several tournaments then, of course. Big ones in Milwaukee, the 75 tournament champions. I drilled his equipment for those events, and the Senior Masters wins. Just a dear friend and a legend. Not only did he win the PBA National twice, here's a statistic. He finished second in it 4 times. Could have had 6 national championships. Only Earl Anthony's ever done that. Davis bowled for the title 6 times in a national championship. Bowled for the title twice in the Tournament of Champions. Bowled for the title twice in the Brunswick World Open. Did not bowl for the title in the Masters, but had 2/3. 69, losing to Barry Asher, and then Jim Chesney beating Asher, who just died last week, the 69 Masters winner. Dave Davis and I were talking about him yesterday. One of our fellow lefties that did make the finals in that event 50 years ago. Arjaik is on. Hello, Arjaik. Nice to have you with us. Yes, Richard, he threw a 14-pound ball in that event. Boy, what a memory you got. My God, not many people know that stat. Dave Davis threw a 14-pound Brunswick Black Beauty in that event. I think if he threw 15s, he would have won. That ball plaqued a little on them half-sevens. It finished to the left in the pin deck. If it went through the pins like mine did, I was throwing 16. And when you watch my ball on that show, only on 2 balls did it deflect left. Every ball finished through the pin deck. You watch his weak 7s in that game. That ball hit the pocket and bounced left, and that 4 laid in the flat gutter. And that's why he didn't win. Gary Seitz, longtime bowler out of Columbus, Ohio. 71 years of age, bowling here. Still throws it good. Won 3 Audis in one night about 5 weeks ago. Had a couple 770s this year in league. He can still play. He could be a factor today. He starts striking. See, that's what he might leave, not the high rev rate. That's where the flat 6 comes in. Got to have the right entry angle and a lot of revs, and he's playing very deep and obviously tough for a lot of 71-year-old men to rev it up, but he can hit the pocket every ball. This guy can make shots. Don't let those slow feet fool you. He can hit the pocket every ball. He can hit it 30 times in a row. Question is carry. I watch Saint-Savoie right here on 21. Saint-Savoie is playing a drier area, and he bowls very well on this shot. He's got entry angle. He's wearing a pro release. He's got a cupped wrist, so he can tilt it. He's wearing that orange pro release. He bowls great with it. And Ray bowls 6 days a week. And there it is. See that finish through the pocket. Got to have that. Let's go down to low end here. Tim Tinsky. A lot of avid bowlers that just have to do this. Ray Stevens had a ball drilled yesterday by Mo Pinnell over at Lehigh Lanes. Mo Pinnell here in Southwest Florida doing one of his clinics. It's called the Mo Show. That's what they call it. The Mo Show. Mo Pinnell, living legend. Let's watch Dennis Davis right here now. One of the founding brothers of the Kegel Company. Formerly out of St. Joe, Missouri, now living in Sebring. Attaboy, Dennis. Get some strikes today, Dennis. Imagine bowling on a lane where you know you and your brothers invented the machine. Not many of us can say that. As a matter of fact, I don't think anybody can say that. If you think about the millions and millions and millions of bowlers in the world, maybe 100 million people bowl a year, he's bowling on a machine that him and his brothers invented, folks. Bowling on a lane where that lane was oiled by a Kegel machine. Very interesting statistic, if you will. I mean, you can drill your own ball and bowl it. You can be a lane man and oil your own lanes and bowl on them. You can be a proprietor and bowl on your own lanes. But there's only two people right now, Mark and Dennis, that are bowling on a lane machine that they help invent. Scary, isn't it? Florida is the melting pot. The Davises out of St. Joe, Missouri. The melting pot today, folks. Paul Bernier on, Scott Umansky. Welcome aboard, everybody. Thank you for joining us here at Lightning Strikes. And David Stolfer still selling those tickets there for those Pro-Am. What a deal that is. Buy a ticket for $10. If you win either the WebMD or a Black Widow 2.0, you get the ball, the drilling, the slugs, the grips, a Pro-Am entry, and 3 days of passes for $200. It is a steal. Or you can just pay $200, go in the pro shop, order the ball, or you can just pay $60 and get 3 days of tickets for your entry fee. So, and there's
Mr.
David.
Larry, can you do me a favor, sir?
And David wants me to pull. Look, I got the camera on you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I've been spying on you today.
Draw me a ticket. Don't worry, I'm working.
Now we're gonna we need witnesses for this. So I'm gonna draw the ticket. Look, there's nothing in my hands. I'm gonna
20 tickets in the bucket.
20 tickets in the bucket.
Yep.
And we're gonna come up with a winner. Oh, there it is. And there's the winner.
All right, let me go
And now
put this
David
across the screen.
Now David's gonna go put it across the screen, and somebody will win a $200 ball and an entry into the tournament. Pro-Am, Gary Rubalowski on. Gary, good to have you aboard. Gary, formerly out of Milwaukee, another Floridian. John Rad right there out of New Jersey on lane 19. He's from Jersey, folks, Jersey, not Jersey. Ray Stevens, who worked with Mo Pinnell yesterday at Lehigh Lanes. Check out Ray. Ray was all pumped today. Whoa. And Ray shredding the rack. And Ray could be a factor today. He has won one of these. And next week, Paradise Regional Market will be the sponsor for our 50 and over event. Brian Copeland stepping up to the plate. One of our league bowlers here will be sponsoring the 50 and over next week. And Saint-Savoie with the late 7. Saint-Savoie. Don Cornett on. Welcome aboard, Don. Thank you, Wayne.
Everything good today?
Like a Swiss watch, Wayne. Wayne Toplin helping me today here. And again, another group of seniors, 60 and over, avid bowlers. Some of these people bowling 3 nights a week. Ray Saint-Savoie 6 days a week. That's right, you heard me right. He said, Larry, I can't miss a day. It's all I want to do. And when I hear that, I envy him. Because if I had a good shoulder, I'd be out there right now, and a good hip, and a good mind, and a good release, and good footwork, and a good temperament. I miss anything. Dennis Perks has won this event right there. Perks looking good today. Let's watch Dennis Davis again. Right here. On lane 28. Oh, good shot by Davis. Looks like he's tilting it a little more. Watch Terry Zell. Terry Zell loves to bowl. Had some health issues, nothing stopping her. She bowls. She loves to bowl. It's in her blood. Her son Mark watching her today, who throws it really good. Mark watching his mother and his father bowl today. Henry Cockfield right there on 29. Coming over from Miami to join us. He can cup it. See that wrist? Watch this ball tilt. See that? Got that glove on. Rodney Newsom. Right there. Not wearing a hat. I hardly recognized him. Rodney bowling with Betty today. There's a lot of lifers here. These are people that just have to bowl. I love it. Talk about loving a bowl. Melanie Ortega and Leo, they don't ever miss an event here. Husband and wife. Oh, that was a great shot by Melanie. Solid 7 right up to the neck on that one. That was a good shot by Melanie. Oh. Just watch this lady here. Throws it pretty straight to lefty. Today was lefty day 50 years ago in San Jose. You should have been there, honey. You'd have made the finals. That's a West Springfield, Massachusetts strike right there. 10 in the pit from West Springfield. That's Bob Kelly, formerly out of West Springfield, knew exactly the street I lived on, or I told him where I lived in West Suffield, Connecticut. Knew exactly the street. He said to me, a lot of rich people live on that street, and I looked at him and said, yeah, I used to be. And he started laughing. You know, talking about that day 50 years ago, Earl Anthony was on that telecast. He's the only one that we've lost who I love dearly. Think about him. This August will be 20 years since we lost Earl. But Skeet Fremsky, Johnny Petraglia, Dave Davis, and myself, fortunate enough to still be on this earth. But all of us think of Earl, and yesterday Dave and I were talking about Earl. Dave was 5-2 against Earl on TV with 2 titles, 2 PBA titles, one in Milwaukee and one on the summer tour. And can you imagine the guys that bowled Earl back then, you know, in Earl's prime in the 70s and 80s, what they had to do to win, how great you had to beat him. And talking about great, on April 10th through the 13th, the greatest bowler that some believe has ever lived, Walter Ray Williams, will be here in our senior event. We expect Pete Weber and Chris Barnes to be here. If Barnes and Weber don't make the finals in Reno, they will be here. Audio Fort Myers is giving them a car, and Robert Eddy's going to fly them here. We have a charity that we're going to donate $5,000 to. That's Johnny Petraglia's charity. Dave Forbes, the general manager of Audi, is going to give Johnny Petraglia a $5,000 check, not counting what we get from other raffles and whatnot in the event. Yes, Nelson Burton was 17th in that event, Richard. And last January, when I saw Bo at the Hall of Fame Classic, that's the one where Tommy Jones shot 300. I was at that show. I had breakfast with Burton 2 mornings in a row. And we were talking about him finishing 17th and what the feelings were that week of the right-handers. In other words, what was it like to be 5th high right-hander and not make a finals And again, that was what I would call a very unique conversation for a number of reasons. Number one, no one expected it. No one believed it could happen. And number two, when it did happen, there was a lot of unhappy people, not only on tour, but in the country. It was not really something bowling should have been proud of. It was a mistake. It should have never happened. I've often told people I would have rather have won in Rochester, New York against Dick Ritker, where there was 3 lefties in the top 16 and the other 2 were 15th and 16th, and I was bowling for the title. That's the one that I really wanted to win, because that one was obviously with 13 righties and 2 lefties finishing 15th and 16th. That's where I showed my skill level in what I would call an equal fashion. But the San Jose event got a lot of people mad, including the founder of the PBA, Eddie Elias, who immediately demanded lane maintenance at the end of that winter and said to us that this will never happen again. We will not allow this to happen in the PBA. We're not going to have full left-handed fields. And, we were upset about it, hearing it. I didn't like hearing it that night, but I knew deep in my heart he was right. You don't expect that, and you shouldn't rely on it. An unfair tournament where 85% of the bowlers get shut out. That's crazy. But it did happen. Now Ray Stevens now for number 7. Ray looking good today. And he did not get the Litchi kiss. Now let's watch Holtheiser, who I picked. And that might be him. And look at this. That's my pick, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, he's going to be battling Stevens in game 1. They're both perfect. Al Holtheiser, formerly out of Reading, Pennsylvania. I thought that was Al Halthizer coming up. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. I don't see him coming up. So it's not Al Halthizer. I really thought it was. It might be on the other lane. Let's see. Oh, that is Halthizer. Okay. And I want you folks to watch this gentleman bowl. He's got fantastic form, fantastic touch at the bottom of his swing. Watch the accuracy, the follow-through. Watch the shoulders. Watch the arm swing. You want to see a beautiful game. The man is 66 years old. Throws it like he did when he was 40. Oh, no, that was not Holtheiser coming up. Okay. That was that gentleman there. All right, I missed. Holtheiser on 41. I thought he had the first 7. Made a mistake. My bad. I'll watch Holtheiser now. Just a beautiful game. Beautiful touch. Attaboy. He can flat play. Look at Stevens, left half a loaf. 7 in a row, 5. Jim Nardi on Graciela Doobie. Hello, Graciela. John Knight, thank you for joining us here in Southwest Florida. Oops, yep, tough spare. Very tough spare, hooking the ball at that. If you throw it straight, got a chance to leave the 8 pin. If you hook it, you got a chance to leave the 5 pin. Very tough spare. Barbill bowling today. And opening the 10th, but a good game for Barbill. Like seeing that. What'd you shoot?
2 opens that game, 243.
2 opens with 243. That means you struck 10 times.
On left 8. He's got to know how to
Yeah.
eliminate everybody else.
Bob Lockhart with 243. Big game for him. And again, a great start today for several of the bowlers. Let's check out the 243. Where is it? Not here. Let's see where that was bowled. Here? No. Let's watch Holtheiser again now. He can put this out for 246, and quite frankly, with the scores as high as they are, he needs it. Oh, we got that 10 out. See, that's good rotation. That's the one where if you're not rotating it, you will leave a half 7, or a half 10, excuse me. Big scores again today. Mike Quirk coming up. The Erie Cranker. He has won this event. There's a good shot in this house on the left. Looks like San Jose right there. Now Gary Seitz can put this out for 250. Oh, he got a break there, kicking the forge. You see that? Wow. It's always nice to catch a break. Karen Ryan on, Tim Fortnoy, welcome aboard. Pat Trudeau, John Knight, thank you. Jim Nardi, thank you for joining us today at Lightning Strikes in Fort Myers, Florida. Again, you're watching the 60 and over Super Senior 3-gamer. At the end of 3 games, we cut to the top 25% of the field. Shot by Leo there. Now Craig Vogel, let's see what Vogel's got here. He has won this event. Very popular man in this facility. And bowling bad in game 1. Look at that, 165. Not the way he wanted to start. And Holtheiser, 215 with an open. Hannah Reed on, welcome aboard, Hannah. We will have scoring for you shortly. Come in pretty quick today. That's good shots. That gentleman there has been bowling a long time. Still throws it pretty good, too. You can see it. Good footwork. Accurate. You could tell when they're lifers. It's very easy to see it. You see the consistency in the release, the walk.
Appreciate it. Can we give him an announcement?
we'll be moving pairs. I'm going to put it on a split for a minute. They'll be moving pairs now for game 2. Again, keep in mind, 3 weeks from today, the big one. Next week, Paradise Regional Market will be our sponsor of the 50 and over event. Jerry Mcfarlane's event is February 20th, the 5-game handicap event, Royal Palms Realties. Tomorrow, the 40-framer starts. We will not be televising that. Ray Stevens, 9-pin no-tap. 4 weeks from today. Or excuse me, 3 weeks from tomorrow. Got to get that right. There it is, Paradise Vintage Market. The 50 and over next week. Sponsored by Brian Copeland. So for you bowlers 50 years and up, and a lot of these people here will be coming back next weekend. Another great event here at Lightning Strikes. Added money. Brian putting up $500 for that event for the next 2 months. And we are honored to call him one of our sponsors, along with Jerry Mcfarlane, Royal Palms Realty, Ray Stevens, Paramount Residential Mortgage Group, Oaks Farms and Seed to Table, and Audi of Fort Myers with Dave Forbes. All of those people responsible for bringing added money events here to Lightning Strikes to help draw entries. Okay, we're back. Scores will be up shortly for game 1. Let's go back to our individual cameras where you can follow the bowlers here now. Oops, nobody there. We want to follow people that are actually bowling. Here we go. Let's watch Ray Saint-Savoy and Ray Stevens, two very accomplished bowlers. Saint-Savoy breaking down the 710 on 26, and that is a bonus. That is a 710 lane, believe me. I've been behind it for 100 live streams And that is the lane in this house very easily on that half hit to leave the 7-10, and he got a break. Chuck Burge wants to know the entries today. Well, let me see, Chuck Burge, I'll tell you. Talk about 44 to 46. Pretty good field. Stephanie Marbelon, welcome aboard, Stephanie. 44 to 46, over the age of 60 people at half the bowl. It is in their blood. They refuse to quit. And I think a lot of times very overlooked because maybe they don't throw those big hooks, and obviously they're not two-handers. But the passion and the love for the sport for many of these people has been there since they were in junior leagues. Many of them have told me they bowled in junior leagues as kids in the 60s, and they're still doing it, and my hat's off to them. When you see lifers like that continued all these years and never quit, and then there's some new bowlers out there that took it up a little later in life that fell in love with it and became avid tournament players and league bowlers. Got Kelly watching today. Scores will be posted shortly for you folks. We'll have them up. Met this gentleman today from the Syracuse area, bowling right there. Bowled with a lot of great bowlers in Syracuse in his life. And George Crooms from Milledgeville, Georgia. Welcome aboard, George. Thank you so much. Robert Brown. That isn't Bobby Brown from Temple, is it? Is that you, Bobby? Wonder if it is. Hope it is. Scott Perdue. Watch Danny Hyam right here, one of our Southwest Florida directors, and again, a very sad week for us here in Southwest Florida. Bob Peters, our association director for 46 years, passed away Wednesday. He sat at my table when I was inducted into the Hall of Fame with Carolyn Trump. Last August, she came to work in the USBC office here and died in the office. It was horrible. A wonderful lady, a great bowler in her life, and Bob and her were together professionally in that office and lived together and loved one another. And he joined her Wednesday, and very tough week for us thinking about that. We lost both of them in 6 months, and they were at my Hall of Fame table with me May 1st of 2019 with my son, my brother-in-law, my three best friends, David Bate, Billy Hall, and Ernie Schlegel, and they're gone. And all week long we've been praying. Let me hold. Where's Wayne now? I need Wayne. Nope, I need Wayne. Hold on, folks. Bear with me, folks. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, folks. Where's Wayne? Did Wayne leave? I hope he didn't. Yeah, I need him. Just bear with me, folks. We'll make that switch. Just hold on. He's going to come right in here and do that for us. He's going to do the little bit of a switch and get it from our main monitor over to all of you, and I'll show you the standings right now. Wayne Toplin helping me today.
Darn it.
Just hang in there with us, folks. We're going to bring you that scoring in 1 second. There it is, Wayne Toplin doing the job. The miracle worker. Doug Mcfarlane, who we saw bowling before, I said has been bowling a long time, leading. Gary Seitz right behind him. Ray Stevens, John Bill, John Soto, Bob Lockhart out of Sacramento, Barb Bill, John's wife, husband and wife up there, Ray Sansavoy, Melanie Ortega, and Mark Zell, all in the hunt. See Al Halthizer, my pick, with 215, 23 pins out. There's our standings after game one. 10 bowlers will make the cut. And right now, it looks like right around 700 to make it with handicap. So let's keep that in mind. Richard Rump telling me that he started bowling in 1958. Deanna Huffman aboard. Hello, Deanna, and welcome aboard, my dear. Wow, Richard, that's quite a record, bowling South Korea. Wow, 69, 70. I was on a tour while you were in South Korea. That's exciting. All right, let's start going up the ladder again, close up. We're going to watch everybody now with the close-up shots. Ray Stevens right here, breaking down to 7-10 on 25. Notice now, let's look for high scores. I didn't see that many after game one. If you'll notice, on these pairs, no big strings, so it might not take anywhere near 700 to make that 10th cut, 10th place cut. Looks like there's a big drop in scores in game two. I don't see any 6 and 7 baggers like we did in game one. So scores could be dropping fast. From the looks of this, it might be right about 670 now to make the cut. Again, you're watching the 60 and over Super Senior at Robert Eddy's Lightning Strikes Bowl in Fort Myers, Florida. And what a month we have in store. Next week, Paradise Vintage Market sponsoring the 50 and over on the 13th. On the 20th, Royal Palm Realty sponsoring the 5-game handicap. Then on the 27th, the $2,500 guaranteed first place 5-game scratch event. The 28th, Ray Stevens 9-pin no tap with 500 added. And then March 5th, 6th, and 7th, the PBA non-champion Southern Region event. Anyone who has never won any PBA event, regional or national, is eligible. 50 and over and 49 and under. And then in late March, the $5,000 guaranteed first place scratch event. So the action really picking up here at Lightning. Let's watch Danny Hyam throw the ball. Good bowler right here. Really nice game. Whoops, pull that one. Can't pull it like that, Danny. That was an arrow pull. Can't pull it that much. Now this gentleman right here, coming up on 21, is leading the tournament. I believe he's up on lane 21. Shot 247 in game 1. That's Doug Mcfarlane. Doug Mcfarlane throws it good. Watch him. Very accurate. Very simple game. Big man, not running, just average footwork. Good release. Tilts it pretty good. Let's watch Doug Mcfarlane right here. Holds the ball belt high right there. Oh yeah, that was a good shot. 247 in game 1 for Mcfarlane, and he's making a statement right now that he wants this event. Strong field, very serious bowlers here. Scores on these two pairs pretty good. We got a couple of 4-baggers here, and then over here another 4-bagger. So people in the 220s, 230s. Let's look down here. We've got some good scores here as well with Gary Seitz. Bowling well today. Gary Seitz now in second place and catching a triple. And Seitz is yet to win one of these, and he's due. He is a good bowler. Ray Stevens, who is sponsoring a 9-pin no-tap here. Got some work done yesterday with Mo Pinnell at Lehigh Lanes. Ray Stevens got that New Brunswick ball rolling great. Cooper Gates on. Hello, Cooper Gates. And now San Savoie, who is now in 8th place right here. Boy, is he tough. That's a good bowler there, folks. Dave, how many? One?
What's that?
One
One ball raffle.
Yeah. Another raffle today.
Rodney Newsom.
Rodney Newsom winning a spot for $10 in a Pro-Am and a brand new ball. What a deal that is. Henry Cockfield, no, can't get that 10 out. See that ball breaking late, deflected at impact. And that's the trick to this house. It's all entry angle. All entry angle. The house is an entry angle house. You can hit the pocket all day long. If you break it late, you don't have a high rev rate, you're done. You cannot carry. Keep in mind, after this game, they bowl one more, we cut to the top 10, and we crown our champion. Sansevier here with a 10-pin. This might be his only undoing is the corners. Again, 26, you can leave them all day long. Break it late, it's there. Notice both bowlers shooting a 10, Stevens and Sansevier. So they're getting it to the pocket. That's not the problem. Problem is rev rate and angle of entry. If you don't have the revs and you break it late, they will not go down. Even if you do have revs, I've seen it all year long. I'm talking Dave Stouffer, Baranecki, Rakoski, some guys that can, lean on it pretty good. They'll pluck the corners. But that's what the game's supposed to be. These nuclear balls have to have some resistance, thank God. Or everybody will be averaging 280. Get the corners out. See, there it is again, Dennis Davis. And again, the ball's late, deflecting at impact. And that was the old game. That was why people only averaged 205, 206 locally in the early days. The balls did not help you. You could not buy power. You had to create it. Obviously, scores went up when the balls became more powerful. Well, Rakoski can fool you. He's up around 280, which is still a respectable rev rate, but there's no doubt that that's probably the average rev rate. But he can still give it a little gas, but most of these people in this tournament don't have 280 Cooper. But no, he's not a high rev player, but about the average 280, I would think. Of course, you wouldn't say that with the kids today, but the average at 49 might be 280. The kids, my God, they're all at 400 and above. It's crazy. And you could stroke the ball and still rev it. I mean, there's some guys that are strokers that are up around 300, I guess. I wouldn't say much more than that. After that, they become crankers, if you will. If you're gonna go by numbers, obviously there has to be a line between, if you will, stroke and crank. I agree with that, 100%. In the old days, they didn't mention any of that, thank God. It was tougher but simpler. You knew if you threw a knuckleball, and nobody needed to tell you. You knew it, especially when you left the 8-10 half pocket 6 times a night. We used to call them knuckleballs. Plain and simple. Now, this gentleman right here leading the tournament, Doug Mcfarlane, he tilts it a little. Now watch, on the side of the ball, loft and tilt, watch, that'll hook. See that? Good shot, no deflection. And he could be tough today right now, putting this game out for 240 again. MEK. McCune didn't use MEK. A lot of people don't know that. McCune never used MEK. McCune used toluene. which was a very slow soak, 2 weeks to soak a ball. MEK in 45 minutes, it was eating into the cover. It was too harsh. It destroyed covers. McCune used a very slow, gentle soak. In other words, he wasn't putting Boraxo on baby skin. He was using hand lotion, if you want to use that analogy. Ken Fry watching. My first balls I soaked in acetone. I left one in too long, and I could write my name in it with my fingernail, and I bite those. And it hooked right off the lane at Mel's Redwood City Bowl in 73 that summer. It hit the lane and went right in the left-hand gutter at 20 feet. I wasted that ball. I bought it in the pro shop, had the guy drill it, soaked it, and it hooked right off the lane, 8 shots in a row. I threw it in the garbage. A little too much dip, if you will. Saint-Savoie. Here's a game with all nines. Check it out. You can bet they were all in the pocket. 248 right behind them. So again, we have a good scoring event today. And there's our leaders. Keep in mind, Mcfarland leading, but it's anybody's tournament right now after one game. We'll see what the 2-game score tell us shortly. B.J. Thomas on. Yeah, a lot of people thought it was MEK, but not for McCune. Now, I used MEK, and it did help me a bit. I went 0 for 5 that summer and went home crying. But Brian Sullivan wants to know what I would do. I'll tell you exactly what I would do. If the bowler was like Brandon Rucker and got automatic revs, I'd tell him to use one hand. I would watch his rev rate. If it was turning over 3 times one-handed, I mean, you could read the label at 40 feet, I would tell him to try two-handed. I would go by their natural ability at that time. If there was, a 120 rev rate, one-handed, and you watch the ball lope and, just bounce off the pocket, and it was reactive, and it was a strong layout and a strong cover, and it did nothing, I mean, it was a knuckler, I would see if they could go two-handed. But if they were a kid that had a good release and good timing where they can lean on it a little and put some gas on it, like Sean Wilcox, who bowled a few weeks ago, or many of the kids that can lean on it. Maybe David Stolfer doesn't have to go two-handed. He's 39. It all depends on your physical ability. If you can't create it with one hand, then I would say try two, because now you do have an alternative, and it's all about, what's good for you if you can handle it. A lot of people can't do it. They don't have the coordination. Either way, well, what do? They buy a stronger ball and hope. The oldest crown jewels are what McCune used. I use those too. The black crown jewel, the red one, the green one. Those crown jewels were fantastic balls. They were 78 hardness before you soaked them. They were soft and they had cores like granite. Those were great, great bowling balls. They were invented by Don Gorman, who was the ball inventor of Brunswick at that time. He came up with the crown jewel. Don Gorman was the name, for you history buffs. Yes, teach people to find the style that works for them, Cooper. That's exactly what I meant. I didn't quite use those words, but now you have a choice. You can go either way. 20 years ago, nobody dreamed of saying that. Once Belmonte came over here and showed everybody what was going on, the cat got let out of the bag. Now, there was a PBA member that did win a regional 35 years ago named Chuck Landy, who was a two-hander. He got knocked to shreds. They punished him when he won. He took a lot of heat for that. I know Chuck Landy is a fine gentleman, but there's a lot of people that didn't like it, that said he should have been banned from the PBA, that the PBA should ban two-handers. And of course, nobody dreamed of what would happen. Belmonte changed the world of bowling. There's no doubt in my mind. When every kid saw that, that was it. That was it. The cat was out of the bag. And now look, guys like Wesley Lowe and Packy Harahan and Kevin Williams and Sean Maldonado, Belmonte. How about Anthony Simonson? How good is Anthony Simonson? He is an assassin. And again, it worked. Well, there was nobody like Roth. There was no right-hander before or after him like Roth when it came to the power game. Not even close. Pete Weber didn't have what Roth had. Pete Weber had a great touch, but nobody like Roth. Take 7 steps and just flat crank the cover off the ball. But Pete Weber, there's a stroker that had a very high rev rate for a young boy and not that heavy. 130 pounds. So proud to have known Pete Weber and Dick Weber. I can't begin to. Yes, Brian, today. You want to see the picture, Brian? You ready? He announced the Cleveland Browns home games and then went to CBS. Jim, I can't think of his last name. He was the only non-bowler there. Yeah, look at that picture. What a great bowler he was, folks. Pull up the videos of him. You want to see a game? You want to see a stroke? Go watch that. Okay, we're going into game 3 now. Let's see if we got some standings up here. Not yet. Okay, we'll come back in a moment. Oh, Bill Jablonski, Weber was, there was nobody like Weber. Weber had the ability to make everyone smile from age 5 to 85. He was genuinely the greatest goodwill ambassador. And then, of course, Salvino was the greatest showman, and most at that time said Carter was the greatest bowler. None of the three were like each other. Carter was a quiet man, walked with a presence, a very nice smile. Weber was this congenial showman, and of course Salvino was a showman and very private. Not as open as Weber, but a genius of a technician and man. Very scientific man. Yes, I know, Richard Rump. Huey still has the same hairdo. I busted him about it yesterday. I told him, why was his hair white? And then he looked at me and he said, you should talk. I said, my sides are white. Vittorio Pozzioli on, Danny Heim sitting next to me. Very nice thing for Bob Peters.
Oh, thank you.
Tell me something. What did he mean to you? What did Bob Peters mean to you as a mentor?
He was my second dad.
Yeah.
So,
Unbelievable guy.
4 days difference. You remember Dad passed away last year on the 29th?
I didn't know that.
And yeah,
Danny's one of our directors and worked under Bob for how long? How long under Bob?
38 years I've been on the board.
38 years on the USBC board, and Bob mentored you all of those years.
Yes, he did.
You're a lucky man.
I was called his shadow.
38 years.
38 years going to national conventions, so on and so forth. State
Yeah.
convention. Yes.
Well, you guys should be commended for your love of the sport and what you did for the sport here locally. And
Now we're
all of us were very lucky to have both of you. We pray for Bob's soul. He was a wonderful man.
Yeah.
And he left a legacy that'll never be forgotten.
Nope.
We won't forget him.
Nope.
We ain't forgetting him.
Nope. And
Yeah,
we're gonna take it to one of his SpongeBob balls and put it in the case. Have it on.
I think we'll probably have some tournaments in his honor. We'll come up with a Bob Peters memorial. Wouldn't surprise me in the least.
Correct.
We should do that.
We'll try.
Oh yeah, good talking with you.
Yes, sir.
Danny Hyam, who made those announcements earlier about. Yes, Richard. Yeah, Danny Hyam making those announcements about our late director Bob Peters, who passed away Wednesday. Yes, Richard, I had a mustache. In fact, I used to say that's the only place where hair would grow was on my lip. Okay, we should have the scores in for you shortly. Mary Byrne will give me the word. Carissa Robson on. Hello, Carissa, my dear. I think anytime.
Scores are up, Larry.
All right, here comes the scores, folks. We got to get these up here and show you what we got. Here we go. Barb Bill taking the lead. A lady. Well, and Janice Fellmeister. Look at Janice and Barb. First and fifth. Doug Mcfarland bowling great today. Back-to-back 240s. Gary Seitz sloping off a little bit. Ray Sansavoy hanging tough at 468 scratch. Ron Dillinger in the hunt at 468. Danny Hyam was just in the booth with me. Ray Stevens, Mike Quirk. The Erie Cranker, look just out. Melanie and Denise Morell just out. Albie Algoditz just out. Al Halthizer making a move. 10 out. If you'll notice, Holtheiser with 238 coming on a little. This game here is the one that counts now. Keep in mind, this is the game right now. Now it's the bottom lanes we're watching. Obviously, we got the cameras up on the open lanes, but I just wanted to get the split screen out on the bottom lanes for you folks to watch a little, and then I'll go to the other split screen. There's Danny Hyam right there on 23. Oh boy, didn't want that on a half pocket hit. That's a low rev rate when that happens. Gary Rubalowski, we gotta get you up here, brother. It's time. You gotta leave Naples, take a little ride, join us. Naples has got so many fantastic bowlers. How about the performance 2 weeks ago by Ronnie Martin III bowling Dom Barrett on 3 games a week? That's one of the best performances I've ever seen in this house. Young man, very good bowler, doesn't bowl a lot. Got to the title against Dom Barrett. It don't get any better than that. He's bowling a world Reneg bowler. If he gets 9 on that second ball in the 10th, he's a winner. And he just probably decelerated a little. Oh, the phone's ringing a lot today. I'm getting lots of calls because everybody knows it's the 50th today for me. My son has been on the phone already. Barry Asher is trying to get a hold of me twice. Phil Bondi on. Welcome aboard, Phil. Let's go to 29 and 30 and watch the stroke of Saint-Savoie right here, who is definitely in the hunt to win this tournament. He is tough. I tell you right now, if I came back to bowl, I don't want anything to do with him. That guy put me back into retirement. He's in fantastic shape, and those shots are robotic. They are all the same. Andrew Kevin on. Colleen Thompson, welcome aboard, everybody. And it's going to go down to the wire right now. There's really several bowlers right now looking at the scores. Several bowlers that could easily sneak in. I was figuring right at about 700 to make it. And it's going to be close to that, I believe, 680 to 700 to make the cut. Ray Stevens, Danny Haya, Mike Quirk, Ron Dillinger, all vulnerable in the 460s because there's quite a group behind them at 440 and up. So 190 on one side, 230 on the other with handicap involved. And we could have a big turnaround here. Saint-Savoie had COVID, missed about 5 weeks of bowling, told me it knocked him pretty good, but and he lost about 15 pounds, but it looks like his weight has come back, and he right now, and Ray Stevens and Al Holtheiser, probably the three highest scoring overall bowlers in this tournament. I mean, week to week in leagues and tournament play. They're all doing a lot of bowling and obviously very good. Watch Saint-Savoie right here. Where's that pro release? He's got just enough cup to stay farther right. Standing about 21 with that left foot. Going right up about 10 today. Right on the second arrow. A little light there, got a little tickler. Doug Mcfarlane right now in the hunt to lead this thing. Mcfarlane, see that 48 in the third, so he might drop down a little bit. Let's find Barb Bill. Barb Bill, one of our ladies today. Let's see if we can see Barb Bill's scores. Doug Mcfarlane right on the side of that thing. See that? Oh boy, now see that? 2 misses after shooting 489, all of a sudden at a 171 pace. So he's giving some wood back. Don't want to do that. And there's Barb Bill right there. She's shooting about 179. She's got a lot of handicaps, so she's going to be in the hunt. She's got to be thrilled. She loves to bowl. Colleen, I'll be here, Colleen, if you come in here and bowl with us. I'll be here, my dear. Again, we want to thank all of you for joining us. Atta girl, Barb. Don't miss any one-pinners, honey. You got a chance to win this thing. Don't get nervous and don't miss the one-pinners. That's the key. Don't give away the easy ones because you ain't going to make the tough ones. Sansavar really broke that late and got lucky, and there's that 10 again. Again, scores fairly low in game 3. Might take maybe 670 now the way I see it. 680 right in there. I don't think it'll be 700. Again, for all of you that just tuned in, don't forget the PBA Senior Tour here, April 10th through the 13th. A big Pro-Am on April 10th. $60 entry fee, you get 3 days of tickets. You can buy a ball for $160 and not have it drilled, an entry fee and in the Pro-Am, and 3 days of tickets. And you can buy a ball for $200 an entry in the Pro-Am, 3 days of tickets, and have it drilled. The WebMD or the Black Widow 2.0, an unbelievable deal here at EBA Pro Shop. Audio Fort Myers sponsoring the Pro-Am, adding $5,000 to the Pro-Am. So if 100 people bowl and pay $60 into the Pro-Am, $5,000 guaranteed, an unbelievable number. Keep in mind, the Pro-Am event is how the proprietor tries to get his guaranteed money back that he's paying the PBA. The PBA is not here for free, obviously. So the Pro-Am event creates the income along with the gate, the food, the beverage. Most proprietors lose at a PBA event. With a little added sponsorship, you might be able to break even, and that's our hope, is just to break even for what we have to give them to come here, and it's not free. Even during COVID, they don't go anywhere for free, and they shouldn't. They are to showcase the bowling, and they should be promoted. Getting a little 5 from Rodney. Oh boy, 2 10-pins in a row. See that? Crossing that oil, treacherous. If you got a weak ball or you miss right, forget it. Cannot miss right crossing the oil. It will not recover. No matter how, no matter how many times you throw it, it will not recover. Let's watch Craig Vogel here now. Oh boy, in trouble today. Craig having a bad day. You can see the look. We all know about that, don't we? And Danny Hyam in a lot of trouble now, 80 in the 6th, and he could be dropping out. So it looks like scores in game 3, not good. And now it's anybody's tournament. Anybody's. And Gary Seitz right here in 3rd place. And he might be taking the lead around Bob Bill and Doug Mcfarland. So right now we got a very interesting scenario here. Seitz, who's never won one of these events, local bowler. The flyer's simple. It is out, Brian Sullivan. It's simple. You can pay $60, bowl in a Pro-Am, get tickets for 3 days. You can pay $160, bowl in a Pro-Am, get tickets for 3 days, and take home a WebMD or a Hammer 2.0. And for $200, you can get the ball drilled Your choice, MD 2.0, and bowl in the Pro-Am, and get tickets for 3 days. We are guaranteeing $5,000 in the Pro-Am, and that's it. That's it. 80 bowlers bowl in the Pro-Am, it's 5,000. 150 bowl in the Pro-Am, it's 5,000. Pro-Am events are usually used again to create the income to pay for the nut to the PBA, which is not cheap. Even during COVID, it's a lot of money. Just to give you a little hint, the national tour, if you want the national tour in your bowling center with Fox Sports, it's $80,000 you got to give them. 80,000 bucks. Well, I don't see that happening too much. Who, me, Brian? The last thing I bowled was the PBA Senior Tour in 2012 at Jimmy Carter's, Don Carter's son, bowling center in Winter Garden. I made the finals, shot 740 to qualify 29th. Made the finals, and bowled Ron Moore in the first game, 3 out of 5. First set, 3 out of 5. He beat me 3-1. The tournament before that, I did not cash. That was at the Villages. And the senior regional before that, I qualified for the finals. Won first game and bowled Dave Sill. He shot 770 at me the next 3. So I went 1-3 twice in match play. And was very happy to make the finals. If you were referring to me, Cooper, if you weren't, well, you still got the report. What can I tell you? You got the Larry report on how to make a finals and choke. Look at San Savoie now. San Savoie in 6th place and could put this out for 237 or 235. It's either on one side or the other, but with Mcfarland bowling bad and Bar Bill bowling bad, he's going to move up the ladder. Wow. He looks tough right now. I picked Holtheiser. Stevens with a 10. San Savoie now making a move at it, and he will be in the hunt to win this event. He is definitely a quality player. We'll have the scores up for you shortly. Hello, Matt Rizzo. Welcome aboard. San Savoie. Look at that game again. All 9 drops. Last game, same thing. See it? He's hitting the pocket every ball. I mean, he is locked in. It's just like he looked 3 months ago before he got sick. And Ray breaking a little late both times for 213. So now we'll do the scores. And now it's score time here at Lightning Strikes.
I added it up already.
Nice bowling, Ray. Looking good, Ray. That's all you leave.
That's all I leave.
I know.
I'm always
don't have that big rev where I can get the 60 kick out.
Yeah, I know. The older we get, we lose a little. You're still accurate though. They didn't take that away from you. No.
No, I'm still throwing 16 pounds. I feel comfortable at 16. I tried 15.
Now we're going to go to 29 and 30 here, and 25 and 6, and watch. See Mcfarland now, who was leading, now shooting 170, but look who's shooting at 260, folks. Look who can go out for 259. Larry's pick, and now this is going to get him in the hunt, I believe. If he can put this out for 259, he's in the hunt, and he is just some bowler. Look at those shots. Boy, is he tough. I would not bowl him. Watching him bowl, if I thought I was bowling good, I'd have to bowl him if it was a match play event, but I would not challenge him to bowl him at my age, knowing that he was just 5 or 6 years younger than me. He'll shoot 770 at you so fast, 770, you won't know what hit you. I mean, he's fantastic. I like saying that about people when I know I'm right. That is not a man. That is a pushover right there because of his age. Just watch the shots. They're all pure. Watch the release. Watch what the right hand does. Right there. See it out to the right? 4-9, good shot. And he's 256 now. What'd you shoot?
Last game, 47.
You're in. Give me 5.
With scratch. So
What?
9 pins handicap.
Bob Lockhart.
That's 700 with handicap.
I think you might have enough at 700. Bob Lockhart with 247 to go 243, 183, 247. So Lockhart has a chance to sneak in. Lockhart out of Sacramento. And Holtheiser now 246. So he goes today 215, 238, 246. Just right there. 46. 699 for the Thizer. Larry Kiss, thank you, Cooper. Why do you remind me, Cooper? John W. Sr.'s watching. Hello, John W. Cooper loves to remind me what a kiss I am. Watch out, Cooper. If I ever come to Portland and give you the kiss, you won't know what hit you. Okay. They're done. Now we have the waiting game to find out who did what. And again, last weekend, 290 bowlers in here. Yes, John W. Sr. Bob Lockhart, Sacramento, California. Now lives here in Punta Gorda, or in the Fort Myers area. Sacramento. And we're going to wait for the scores to come in. Let me go to 27 and 8. They're not done yet. I want to put the camera on them right here. Timmy Tinsky and the people on his pair finishing up. And I'm going to get back to what happened 50 years ago and tell you folks exactly what happened with the proprietor of the event and the press, which we know about today, the press. Aren't they wonderful? And when you hear the story, you'll understand the evolution of bowling. A lot of you are fans, and I want you to hear this because not only was I there, but it's a story that's very seldom repeated because a lot of people are gone. But when you hear it, you won't believe it. It's absolutely from another world. And for you fans, you've got to hear this story. It should be documented. It should be a story that has been written about long after it happened, but they never did. No, I'm not interviewing you. Mark Pulaski begging me for an interview. Get 780, I'll interview you. Well, the next time you get interviewed. The story of the San Jose event was just not a bowling tournament. It was, when you hear what I'm going to tell you, you will not believe it. That's how crazy it is. And no one ever knows anymore. For the title is not just about 16 left-handers. It's what happened during the tournament. What happened in this particular bowling center was Saratoga Lanes. Bill Allen, Ski Feremsky, and Dave Davis had won there 5 of the previous 6 tournaments. In the 69 event, Johnny Gunther shot 300 there on February 20th, 1969, to win $10,000 in Mercury Cougar. Then he won the championship match. But in 66, 67, 68, and 70, 65, 66, 67, 68, and 70 left-handers won there. So the owner of the bowling center, Frank Thatcher, hated lefties because now everybody in San Jose said it's a left-handed house. So when we got there in 71, each squad bowled 6 games. A squad, B squad bowled 6 games. At the end of both squads bowling 6 games, 6 left-handers were in the top 16. At the end of 12 games, 9 left-handers were in the top 16. At the end of 18 games, 12 left-handers were in the top 16. Well, at the end of 12 games, the end of day 1, he said to Harry Golden, I'm changing the lanes. Harry Golden said, you can't change the lanes. Frank Thatcher said, if you don't let me change the lanes, I'm locking the doors tomorrow morning. Harry Golden said, you're breaking the contract. So now an argument starts on Wednesday after 12 games with 9 lefties in the top 16. Lo and behold, they oil the lanes again, and now 12 lefties are in the top 16 after 18 games, and Thatcher says again to Harry Golden, I'm changing the lanes for tonight. Harry Golden says, no, you're not. And Thatcher says, I'm throwing the ABC trucks out of my lot if you don't let me change the lanes. Now they're arguing about the lane condition. Keep in mind, it's their lane machine. They're using a B90, and we're bowling in their house, and they're doing the lanes, so it's really not the PBA's fault. They don't know what they're doing, obviously. But he wants to change them during the tournament, which we did not allow. So it gets the cut squad. After 18 games, there's a cut squad. And the squad bowls 6 more games. And Jim Chesney, who died last week in Denver, doubled in the 10th frame to be the 16th lefty. And Nelson Burton, who became the announcer 4 years later, was 17th. So the proprietor wants to change the lanes. He wants to throw the PBA out, but he's oiling the lanes. They're using a B90, and he doesn't know what the lane machine's doing. And the PBA's fighting with him during the whole event. Now we get to TV, of course, and the major newspapers are there, the San Jose Mercury News, the San Francisco Chronicle, and all these sports writers want to know why this is happening. And it created a major public relations nightmare for Thatcher at Saratoga Lanes. Meanwhile, the next year, he demanded in 72, and now we had lane maintenance. And he demanded that Lenny Nicholson and Sam Baca do not let a lefty win. And lo and behold, Gus Lampo won, but he bowled Don Glover, a lefty, for the title out of Bakersfield, and Lampo beat Glover. I made the finals. I got lucky. I snuck in. I was about 20th. I think only 4 lefties made it out of 16. But Lampo bowled Glover, and Lampo beat Glover in the 73 event. The lefties did not have a good shot. By 74, I was now player service director. The tour bowled there that summer. It became the doubles event, the PBA Touring Player Doubles event. I think it was won by Don Carter or Don Johnson and Paul Colwell that summer. And things changed from then on. Palmer Falgren won there. I don't think a left-hander ever won there after the 71 event. I don't believe a left-hander ever won there again. It was usually righties, and they were usually great righties. But the public relations nightmare that he had that day
Currently in first place.
And here we go. I said between 680 and 700, and there it is. Doug Mcfarland sneaking in with 690. Gary Seitz and Melanie Ortega. Look at Barb Bill leading. She's going to bowl the lefty cranker, Mike Quirk. Ron Dillinger against Ray Sansavoy. Al Holtheiser at 699, 42 out. Now keep in mind, if Holtheiser wins his game against Melanie and shoots 260, he could easily win this event. Barb Bill leading, Melanie Ortega in there, Holtheiser, Sansavoy, Mike Quirk, Gary Seitz sneaking in. And look at Gary Rucker Sr. just missing by 5 pins, Marlon Zell 5 pins, John Soto 7 pins, Ray Stevens 12 pins, all very close, just missing.
But lane 26 is Gary Seitz, and lane 27 is Melanie Ortega. Where do you go, Melanie?
And there it is.
And finishing up the top,
Joe Panko watching, and Joe Panko was there that week during that chaos of that event. And again, today is a great day 50 years later because I'm still here.
Lane 21 is done. Ron Dillinger. And Ron's from Fort Lauderdale. First time he's both the tournament.
And it's finals time now. Keep in mind, it's really, if you look at the standings again, it's really anybody's tournament. If Mcfarland were to win the game against Seitz and shoot 270, I mean, he could win. He did bowl 240, 240 twice. Pretty close at 51 pins apart. Any of these top 10 could win it. If I make a prediction right now, I still like Holtheiser's action, but he would need to win and shoot 240 or 250. He is bowling Melanie, which is not going to put a lot of pressure on him, but it is handicap-wise. He's given her a lot of pins, and she's bowling pretty good today. So he might have a tough win there. So look at Dillinger. Dillinger goes 94, 90, 97. He's in third. Interestingly, he's bowling Sansavoy with no handicap. Dillinger could actually shoot 190 and win this thing. So anybody's tournament as we speak. Pretty good. How are you, Henry? Good to see you, Henry. How are you? Matt Rizzo likes Barb Bill. Sentimentally, I would like to see Barb Bill win, only because she's a beautiful lady. It's just that simple. She's loved. She's a wonderful lady. She bowled 600 scratch. I'd love to see her win. She would be thrilled. I like Quirk. Look at his last 2 games, Coop. Cooper, you're picking the lefties, huh? Because today was lefty day 50 years ago. I got it. Lefties bowl great on February 6th.
all of your attention, the bowlers that are bowling, the top 10. The way this works is you're going to get 2 minutes of practice, and that's it.
No audio on the photo. Oh, I didn't know that.
It's the bowler on your pad.
That's not good.
Bonus pins, but you are
Well, as I was talking about Davis, the
want to bowl out their butts so they can come up.
photo we took yesterday was
Are going to be receiving
quite an honor and privilege. I did not realize no photo, no sound on the photo. That hurts. Did not know that.
You can go ahead and get into your practice by pushing the check marks on your scoring consoles.
Well, we had everything right but that, but that's where I really wanted
Don't
sound.
worry about shooting spears. Don't worry about. Get you 2 minutes.
Again, the honor and privilege was mine. To beat him was an honor. All right, let's watch the practice now. Here we go. It's a tough match for Holtheiser against Seitz. Seitz bowling well today. Holtheiser bowling great. Bob Lockhart, the lefty, looking good. We got the lefties in there today on lefty day. Could very well be lefty day, too. And watch this right here. Saint-Savoy. Looks like he's spinning it a little today. Yeah, I can't get the sound up for that picture. I was hoping I could. I didn't realize that for the whole show. I would have had it fixed earlier. As I was telling my stories, didn't know that. But that's okay. As long as we're watching some good bowling, that's the most important thing. Dillinger could sneak into this thing bowling Saint-Savoy. Lockhart's got a great shot on 23 and 4 right now. He still throws it great at 74 years of age. He's got a great touch. And if you really want to hear something silly, keep in mind, San Jose, California is about 100 miles from Sacramento. And that's where Bob Lockhart's from. And today was lefty day. And wouldn't that be silly if a Californian won today here, where the most lopsided event in bowling history was held 100 miles from his town 50 years ago in San Jose. Interesting. I don't know if I really want that to happen, but I don't want to root against him. Is February 6th going to be lefty day? We'll find out, won't we? Let's watch Bar Bill now. We're going to focus on the leaders early, and then I'm going to scan and see who's doing what. Keep in mind, Bar Bill today, 201, 221, 178. I think she's going to need more than 178 in this game. It's a good start right there. Good shot for Bar Bill in the pocket. She looks serious. She's looking down. I think she knows. I mean, she's got a chance. And Seitz striking. Let's go back to Bar Bill's spare. Had a girl, Bar Bill, right on it. Very nice. That's what you have to do. You have to fill the frames now. Watch the shot Lockhart's got. Lockhart has got a very good shot right here. Oh, yes. Lefty day. Now Halthizer. Oh, he did not want to do that against Seitz. And Seitz started with a strike. And right off the bat, Holtheiser in a lot of trouble. And Seitz lofting the ball, circling the heads, catches a double. Now Saint-Savoy. Oh boy, that's something he hasn't done all day. But right here now, Lockhart on a strike. He's got a great roll on the ball. Nice game, too. Watch how smooth he is. Beautiful. And 10 in the pit. Now the lefty cranker, Mike Quirk out of Erie. Oh, see that 4 wrap right around it. So late time for Mcfarland. I would say Holtheiser needs them all now to have any kind of a chance here against Gary Seitz. Gary Seitz very underrated. And Barbill, okay, good shot. Now she's been in the pocket twice. I watched Seitz for 4 in a row.
Can I go now? Yeah, I want to make sure everybody got paid.
Now this is big right here because he can make a gigantic move with 260. That's going to come back. Watch this. Oops. Nope, too much. Okay. Atta girl, Barbill. Don't miss those 1-pinners, honey. Don't give it away. Now Lockhart. Oh, he trips a 6. It's lefty day. Now Lockhart in the hunt there. Barbill, 3 balls in a row in the pocket. Those are good shots for a lady that's got some pressure on her now. She's never won one of these. But what I like, now this is critical. If there's ever going to be a chink, this is where it is. Obviously, she cannot miss right. That ball's got no revs. She's got to really be on her target. That looks pretty good. Hang on. Atta girl, Barbill on the spares. I love it. Now Holtheiser. No, he's done. Look at his dominoes. Mcfarland in trouble again. It looks like Holtheiser just in and out, not lined up right. I don't think he's got a winning shot right now, still fishing. But Lockhart right here could definitely get in the hunt with this one to win. Definitely in the hunt. Oh, he trips the 6-8. An amazing break. 2 trip 6s in a row. Now the Erie cranker. And he's staying close, but he's got to start striking. Seitz just opened. There it is. He had to have that. Very important. He's got to strike because if she keeps sparing, he keeps sparing, she's a winner. She's got a lot of handicaps. So, Saint-Savoy just tough as nails. Look at that. And right now, Saint-Savoy taking control. He's the first bowler in the top 4 other than Lockhart to have any doubles. So keep in mind, over here, Quirk and Barb Bill, no doubles. Let's see what she does here. It's got a cross. Now she's in trouble. Oh boy. But look here. Saint-Savoy with 4 in a row. Now Lockhart. This is a big shot for Lockhart. He could be right at the lead right here. He's 41 behind Bill. That's on the mark. Oops, a little slow. And Barb Bill with a great try there. Did you see that? Just missed making it. So now she's left the door open for Quirk. Saint-Savoy right here can take the lead with this one. Right now can take the lead in this event. And he is just very tough and very good. All right, Barb Bill coming back with a strike. Now keep in mind, Barb Bill getting 35 pins a game. So excuse me, Barb Bill getting 47 pins a game. So keep in mind, she's not out of it by any means. That handicap is monstrous. Saint-Savoy here he goes out for 290. He's a winner. That I can tell you. He's in control of his own destiny. Wow. He's 704 scratch, shooting 290. Now the Erie Cranker. Whoops, got that in. Oh boy, missed an arrow right. He's got to be sick on that. All he had to do is trust it and just pulled it right across his body. Lockhart definitely not out of it. And good shot there. Right now it's all Ray Saint-Savoy. Let's see what Holtheiser got. No. Cannot put enough on him now. It's really between Lockhart, Bill, and Holtheiser. Or Lockhart, Bill, and Saint-Savoy, excuse me, as we speak. And Saint-Savoy right now in control of his own destiny. He throws 4 in a row, no one can beat him. He goes around them all, and even with their handicap, they can't beat him. So, right now it's up to him, and he is locked in. 704 scratch. Wow. Amazing. He's cool. I'll tell you, there's no rattle there. Let's watch what Barb does here now. Figure with 47 pins, 184. So let's say she wins 47-77. She's at a 250 pace. It's close. It's very close between her and Saint-Savoy. Because she wins the game and gets 30 bonus pins, that's plus 77, 67, 60. He's at 259. They're a pin apart. She's 1 pin apart from Saint-Savoy right now. Oh, that was a great shot. She threw it. That's where she wanted to be. Now Saint-Savoy right here can take the outright lead by 10 pins right now. Outright lead right here with no one, regardless of handicap. Oops. Oh my God, what was that? What was that, folks? I know what it was. It's what I did my whole life. It's called the squeeze. Now Lockhart getting 9 pins, 78, 87, 117 would be 10-17. Lockhart could go around both of them. He could go around both of them if Saint-Savoy doesn't strike out. Keep in mind, Lockhart not out of it. The way it would work is this. Saint-Savoy's got to get this first one, there's no doubt about it. Because Lockhart could catch him. Okay? If he opens, Lockhart could definitely go around him. Wow, Saint-Savoy, amazing. Shooting 290, so he's going to pick up 120 and be at 1024. 1024. And the most Lockhart could go is 1008. So that was key. And I believe that was the lockup right there for Saint-Savoy. And with Lockhart not striking and Bar-Bill not striking, it looks like it's all Ray Saint-Savoy right there. I believe he is our winner. How he went Brooklyn on 22 is beyond comprehension. He never does that. As you can see, this game, every one of those shots but one were pure. He's going to go 290 for a scratch score of 990. And with 30 bonus pins, 1020. And it looks like Ray Saint-Savoy, now of Punta Gorda, Florida, formerly out of Woonsocket, Rhode Island, will be the winner today in a very exciting event where he just, one of the few times a scratch score has won this event. It usually doesn't happen. And Saint-Savoy with 990 scratch for the 4 games. And that is a monster. Saint-Savoy and those scores will be coming in a moment with Ray Saint-Savoy, our champion. And Bar-Bill really bowling well and hitting the pocket. Most of her shots, obviously, not a lot of revs, ball deflecting. It's probably a 13 or 14 pound ball. So, but she actually bowled a pretty good game. 4 or 5 of those 9 drops could have struck. And I got to give her nothing but credit. And Quirk is not going to lose by much. If he goes 45, 75, he's only going to lose by 10 pins. No, wait a minute. I could be wrong about that. Hold on a minute. 735, 765, 965. He might have needed that to tie him. There's a possibility, we'll find out in a moment, where he might have needed a double to tie Saint-Savoy. Look at Bar-Bill hitting the pocket every ball. Very nice bowling by Barb. Quirk missing the 7-pin, errant shot. Let's check the scores again and double check them. Nothing yet. It'll be in shortly. Bear with us. But it looks like Ray Sansavoy out of Punta Gorda, Florida. Ray, come here with me. I want to get Ray in the booth here. That was quite a performance, bro. That's 990 for 4. You know, you're an old man. How'd you do that?
I don't know. I just try to hit the pocket. That's all I can hope for.
Now, I never see you go Brooklyn. What happened there?
I threw it too slow,
Yeah.
and the ball grabbed the lane and just
Yeah.
took off.
Now, I know you had COVID. And
Yes.
I know you weren't feeling well. Did you
No.
lose 20 pounds?
About 14 or 15, yeah.
You lost 14 or 15 pounds.
Yeah, I gained about 10 of it back.
You gained 10 of it back.
Yeah.
You look great.
Yeah, thank you.
It hasn't really changed your physical game any. It looks like
Well, my hand's been changed.
your,
but-
your hand changed.
Yeah. Today was last week, and today was about the first time I can get in the ball where my hand swelled up
Yeah.
like I used to.
But what
Now
a
it's different.
what a fantastic performance.
Well, thank you.
That's really some great bowling. I mean, you know, those pins don't fall by themselves. You go 247, 227, 236, 290. 290
And
for
last
the win.
night I bowled in a league.
Yeah.
And I shot 570.
Well, you saved your strikes for today. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations
Well,
on a
thank you.
great win. I know you've been wanting one of these.
Yes.
And I'm sure we'll see you next Saturday.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna, but Greg, he always prods me to bowl.
You got a bowl. You're
Yeah.
tough. I know it's scratch. Where
Yeah, I got a bowl scratch, yeah.
But-
Well, not in that, I get about 5.
you get about 5.
Yeah.
It's some great bowling.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad you're healthy again.
Oh, me too.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you. We're waiting for everything to finish here. Oops, sorry about that. We don't want that camera up. Excuse me a moment. Waiting for Bob Lockhart to finish. Dave Stouffer, anything you want to do, as far as I'm concerned, any combination you have to mix it up over these next 9 weeks, it's a fantastic deal. As I was telling our audience, $60, you get in, you bowl the Pro-Am, you're shooting at $5,000 prize fund. And you get tickets for 3 days. $160, you're bowling in the Pro-Am, you get an MB Pearl, or a 2.0 hammer, and entry into the Pro-Am, and tickets for 3 days. And for $200, the full bore. Drilling, grips, slugs, the works, entry fee, tickets, and you're eligible for the $5,000 prize fund. So for all you folks, Dave Stouffer will be running these weekly for the next several weeks. Dave Stouffer, great on the mic today, bro. Just for the record, I was impressed. In fact, if you let me out of here in May, Dave, you can have this booth free of charge. I won't charge you. It's all yours. I want out. If I can get out of here in May, I might come back in June. Thank you, Duncan. Okay, we're waiting for the results from Mary Berner. And as I was saying earlier today, quite a day in my life. And glad to see my fellow New Englander, Ray Sansavoy, win out of Woonsocket. I coached there in 2014 and 15 at Walnut Hill Lanes with my CAT system. And David Bate, my dear friend, owns a pro shop in Woonsocket. And here goes Mary Berner now with the money. Mary Berner with the money.
Once again, I'd like to thank you guys for taking the time to come out.
And Billy Seymour, our assistant GM. Billy Seymour, a great player. Let's check these standings here while Mary's getting ready. Put the bonus round in.
So we're going to go ahead and pay out our top 10.
And there it is, Sansavoy. Quirk, Dillinger, Mcfarland by a pin. Bowled good the last game to go from 10th to 4th. Keep in mind we had brackets today.
In 10th place,
See, there's our brackets.
with a score of 872,
Potts.
$50 is Ron
Quirk
Johnson.
McFarland. Nassau's.
Ron is a local bowler that bowls the head mid skate world. And he's a
There's some
gold
Nassau
medalist in the
action.
senior games. Florida senior.
So again, our seniors that we appreciate so much, with Billy Seymour and Mary.
Thank you. For those of you, there's still don't
Keep in
forget
mind, the
our
Pro Shop deal is one of the best I've ever seen in my life. For $200, you're getting a $230 ball and a Pro-Am entry where the Pro-Am has $5,000 guaranteed prize money and 3 days of tickets and drilling by Ricky Ward or Mark Pulaski or Gary Seward. An unbelievable deal. Austin Andrews on. Hello, Austin. Just an unbelievable deal for the average bowler to come in here and have a shot to bowl with greatness. I mean, you could draw Parker Bone or Bobby Lerner or Leno Monticelli or Walter Ray Williams, get a brand new ball, bowl in a Pro-Am, have a shot at $5,000 in prize money, and watch the greatest bowlers for 3 days for free. Another great deal here at Lightning Strikes. David Stouffer running that promotion. You know, we did see this here. What are you going to do, right? It's the world we live in.
Yeah, don't forget.
Who knew?
You got to continue our side by
Who knew?
Stop by the front desk.
Anyways, Mary making the promotions today with Gary promoting this event. Just an unbelievable tournament director.
You want me to add the sound in real quick?
Yeah, you can. Put the sound in real quick.
In fifth place, receiving $85.
Now we should be good.
Okay, that'll give us the sound. We're going to watch Mary for a moment, and I want to just say a couple things about Dave Davis. I didn't realize that picture didn't have sound before. So I want to just tell you a little bit about this before we get off the air.
And it's about time. In fourth place, receiving $95 with a score of 975 is Mr. Doug McFarland.
Doug McFarland bowling well today. Had that bad game in game 3 with 171, but other than that, I really had a shot today. Bowl well.
All the way from the ninth, all the way up to fourth, right?
Yep.
10th to 4th.
10th to 4th in the last game.
All right, and our newbie to the tournament, receiving $115 by 1 pin, beating Doug with a score of 976, is Mr. Ron Dillinger. Way to go, Ron.
Ron Dillinger bowling well today. One of our handicap players went 194, 190, 197, and held good the last game. Look at Ron Dillinger. Big smile. Means a lot to these people to bowl well. You know, many of them in their 70s, and they're out here today. They're live streamed. Their families are watching, and they have a chance to win some money and show there's still a little gas in the tank. And I love that. I love it. And Mike Quirk, the Erie Cranker, wonderful man. Always looks good. And Sansevier running away today. Great bowling for the veteran from Rhode Island.
He's a two-time champion.
10-24 scratch. The 994 with 30 bonus pins. Anyways, I wanted to tell all of you about Dave Davis's record Number one, he was the first left-hander ever to win Bowler of the Year in 1967. He won the Firestone Tournament Champions in 1968 and 1975. He won the PBA National Championship in 1965 and 1967. He had 4 majors in his career. He was voted the 15th greatest bowler that ever lived. And for me to have bowled with him and drilled his bowling balls after I retired, many of those events that he won, I drilled his equipment. I met him when I was 18 in Plainville, Connecticut. We both made the finals in that event. And for me to have him as my only title win has mixed emotions, because he was so great that I often wonder how I could actually beat a man that good. But that day we bowled, it was exciting for both of us. We laughed yesterday. We had a lot of fun talking about it. He is an icon in our sport, and I love him dearly. And the honor was truly mine to bowl against him. And just so all of you know, he was one of my idols, and there I am with a man I idolized and had a chance to bowl for a living and bowl against for a title. So a great day today for me. And right now it's 4:17, and 50 years ago we're almost getting into the title match at this time. 50 years ago, in about 35 minutes, it was over, and I struck to beat him. And just a great day in my life, and now the anniversary's over, and I won't be around for the 100th, I can assure you, so you won't have to worry about me babbling about it again. And yeah, I got the audio on that picture, Cooper. I didn't realize it. It was a rush job today, and but no big deal. We had enough audio, if you will. But Davis was unbelievable. His shot making back then, with a rubber ball in his hand and a pancake weight block, he had to pure it in order to get it, get it to hit. And with his arm swing, and if you'll notice the build on him, he was always skinny and very tall, of course. He had the greatest push away and arm swing, and the most beautiful game. If you watch the videos of him in the 60s and 70s, you see this pure arm swing and balance at the foul line. And we all tried to throw it as good as him. Nobody could. Keep in mind, he was a star before Anthony. A lot of people don't realize that he was a legend before Earl. And then, of course, when Earl came out, Earl let all of us know on the left side that we were in a lot of trouble. Especially me. I quit quick. Davis stayed for a while. I watched Anthony. I said, I'm going to go home and drive a bus for a living. But just a great day in my life. I want to thank all of you for listening and watching today, and watching us here at Lightning Strikes. Keep in mind, we'll be on Tuesday at 6:30 for the Audio Fort Myers League. Over 105 cars, won in usages by our league bowlers. An unbelievable league. It's week 25 of the Oaks Farms League, and then, of course, or the Audio League, and then Wednesday night the Oaks Farms League. 20,000 added in that league. So we have a great week planned for you. We'll see you all next weekend for the 50 and over, sponsored by the Paradise Vintage Market and Brian Copeland. That will be on Saturday at 1:30. So see you all Tuesday night. We want to thank you. Wish all of you a lot of good luck and good bowling. Thank you for joining us today at Robert Eddy's Lightning Strikes. Have a good week. Okay.